Justin, the owner. I'm a mead maker. We're a small family-owned business. Any PR, press, reviews, we truly, truly appreciate. At Monks, I focus on dry styles of mead. We're introducing this ancient beverage to the world today, and we just want to show you how versatile and amazing mead in this crazy old beverage can actually be.
How did you come up with the name, or where did the name Monks Meadery come from?
So I like alliterations. So Monks Meadery totally checks that box. The other thing is, right, if you look at monks, historically, they saved recipes, they made wine, you look at some of the best beer breweries in the world, right, are monasteries. And so we felt like it would be appropriate for a beverage that's kind of fallen out of favor, that's been lost, to be ushered back in a modern style, if you will.
What is the best-selling flavor that you guys make?
So what we've had in distribution since 2011 is the Monks Mead, which is our flagship, which is a traditional wildflower dry mead that's slightly carbonated. So it's probably the flagship.
And how many different flavor profiles do you guys produce?
So I think in the tap room now we've got 16 different things that are available. Most of them are carbonated. Almost all of them are dry, and they span a pretty wide spectrum. So we've got things that are going to taste more like a beer. We've got things that taste like cocktails. We've got very honey forward type products, and then sessionable things that we can put in a can. You can drink easily 16 ounces and not worry about falling over.
Do you make anything that's not like a traditional? Do you make like sizers or melomels or metheglins, any of that type of stuff?
So I actually steer away from all the different iterations of mead. But for me, it clouds that information if I have to tell them what a melomel is, or a metheglin, or a sizer. So I don't actually identify any of my products with those names. So to answer your question, we make a lot of metheglin. I think herbs and spices work really, really well with honey and water. Kind of the way I think about it, right? Like, how many times do you have a tea that you add honey to? Well, we're just doing that in reverse, right? We're taking a tea, we're adding honey to it, and then we're fermenting it. And I think that's a marriage that works super, super well.
Do you use the same yeast for all of your stuff, or do you guys kind of vary your yeast per product?
The short answer is yes, we use a variety of yeasts. I do a few where I use Belgian beer yeast. And what I find with that is you're able to make kind of beer varietals of mead, so it's gluten-free, it's truly a mead, there's no grain in there, but you're picking up so much flavor that's coming from the yeast that people think that they're drinking a Belgian beer, right? And it's fun to be able to be like, hey, what do you think of that? And they're like, this is a great beer. And I'm like, no, there's no grain. That is absolutely a mead. And so that's kind of a fun thing to do. But yeah, yeast is another tool that the winemaker, the mead maker, the brewer has to derive flavor. Why wouldn't you use a wide variety of things?
Do you use filtration on your products?
Yeah, filtration, honey is something that can ferment fairly easily once it's destabilized, like and watered down. And it's important that all of our products are shelf stable. So we go through 2 stages of filtration. Basically, it takes it down to such that it's sterile, so there's no yeast left in that product.
Right. Do you feel that filtration removes flavor from your product? Because my understanding, like my personal opinion, is that the filtration is, you're removing matter from the product, so you're removing stuff that could potentially add to the flavor profile or help enhance the flavor profile, however you want to
No, I'm with you, and I struggle with that every day. I do filtration sometimes on a base product to get to a sterile substrate, right? And then we'll do a secondary where we then do a much lighter filtration. And then some of that will come through. So that's where I'm driving flavor, but from a secondary source of flavor, if you will. And I'm just trying to make the best, as much flavor in the products that isn't gonna blow up on the shelf.
So what's your thoughts on bread yeast, entry level, like starting homebrewing with bread yeast? Or should you seek out like a homebrew shop or online and get something that's a true wine yeast, or even like an ale yeast or something like that, something specified for fermentation?
Gosh, yeast varietals are as interesting as honey varietals, which is as interesting as grain. I think, you gotta try a whole bunch of different stuff to kind of figure out what it is that you like, figure out what you want to do. And then I think it's important to be a little bit different, right? Like, if you try XYZ beer, you don't want to make the same 5 beers that they make or their 5 best sellers. You want to find things that speak to you that are different. So I think it'd be cool if there was a meadery that only used bread yeast. That'd be kind of wild.
Are raisins nutrients?
I've never used them as a nutrient, so that's not my jam.
What can people expect to see coming out of Monks that maybe you guys haven't done before?
One thing that we're looking at doing is we're actually expanding, so we're going to have a new tap room hopefully by the end of 2023. I'm excited for that. Hopefully it'll allow for a little bit bigger distribution footprint. I hope that it helps with consistency. We struggle every day with trying to make sure that we're putting out the best possible product each and every time. And I think with a little bit, there's economies of scale. So once you can get a little bit bigger, I think that's gonna make it easier. Or I'm shooting myself in the foot. But I'm excited for it. The community has been really receptive of what we're doing, and I'm having fun.
Do you have a specific honey supplier or honey varietal that you work with exclusively, or do you just kind of pick and choose honey types per flavor profile?
We go all over the place a little bit. In the past year, almost all of our honey is coming out of Savannah Bee Company. A really high quality honey that we're getting from them. We're learning every single day, and so that's exciting in itself. They're a locally owned company, privately owned. So it's great to be able to support somebody else that's small, and they have really high standards, and we're hoping that we can exceed all their expectations. And all of our customers want to exceed expectations every single time. Under promise, over deliver.
What's your favorite mead that you guys make?
So my first love for sure is our flagship. It's 12% alcohol. Makes things a little challenging if you want to have 2 or 3. I love all of our session styles. Right now I've got the Dragon Blaster, which is kind of like a lemonade with a little edible mica, so it doesn't sugar. So that's kind of fun. Monk Hat, which is whiskey barrel aged mead blended with orange and cherry. Totally tastes like, and maybe it's because it's 40 degrees outside right now, so like you want to have that whiskey cocktail. But the best part about it is if you order an old fashioned or a Manhattan, right, it comes with a big ice cube, and so it's a 5-ounce glass, and then it's like 4 sips and you're done. But the Manhattan is 10% alcohol, so like I can drink a true pint, and it's so enjoyable. It's a fun little product. We just got 3rd place at one of the local beer competitions. We're getting 3rd place in a beer festival, and we're not even beer. It was so awesome. It made me feel like we're doing something right.
What's something unique that you want people to know about Monks Meadery that doesn't just show on the surface?
There's a lot of heart and soul in all of the different products. I think to truly understand the brand, you have to try 5 or 6 of them, and you'll see the breadth of the category of mead. It doesn't have to be sweet. That maybe is the biggest one, is mead does not have to be sweet. Building a mead is like building a cocktail. You need the balance of sugar and acid, or sugar and salt. You need harmony in whatever it is that you're doing in order to have something that's palatable that you want to drink 16 ounces of.
What is a tip that you would give home brewers who are trying to make quality dry meads?
I will boil my honey. I think it eliminates any contaminants, whether it's it's bugs or bacteria, anything. Then when I inoculate with the yeast, then I know that's what's actually driving the final flavor. You've got to use nutrient, right? In other words, it's not going to come out clean. You need to support the yeast so it's happy.
A lot of people say that mead right now is, say, where the craft beer world was in, say, the early 2000s. I'd say about 20 years behind-ish, depending on who you ask, roughly.
Yeah.
So where do you see it turning into all these extreme variants and kettle sours and fruited Berliner Weisses and all that stuff, or do you see it kind of taking a more, more classical path, more classy path, less experimentation? I don't know.
Oh, I think we're going to see a lot of experimentation in the mead world. I don't know that we're beer, and I say that because I think price-wise, honey is too expensive. So we're never going to be that low price. I don't know that we can ever compete there. But I think that experimentation is a huge part of what's going to happen, and it's going to be interesting to see, right? Do people move towards these higher alcohol products, or do they switch and move into more session style? My name is Justin, the owner. I'm a mead maker. We're a small family-owned business, and that's it, man. Like, come, enjoy, come with an open mind, and have a good time. That's what this is all about.